Hello everyone, this is Rohit Ghosh. Welcome to Part-1 once again. Today I am going to discuss about the most popular procedure-oriented programming language. Procedure-oriented programming language is a type of computer language that specifies a well-structured steps and procedure within the program to compute the program. It consists of symmetric order of statements, functions, command that to execute the program. Basic C are the examples of QBasic, Part-1 are the examples of procedure-oriented programming language. Among them, C is the most popular procedure-oriented programming language. C programming language developed in AT&T Bell Laboratory of USA in the year of 1972. It is developed and written by Dennis Ritchie. In that period, this C programming language gets so popular because due to its simplicity, easy to use and reliability factor. Nowadays, C programming language becomes obsolete, although it is remaining in use in some sector, basically in education sector. Still we learn C due to its simplicity and easy to use implement the program code. C programming language basically consists of several things like character set, identifiers, token, constants, variable, arrays, conditional statement, loop, etc. So first one is character set. Whenever we represent some information in C programming language, we need some character, and the character may be some maybe an alphabet or digit or special symbols. Character set in C programming languages are alphabet from A to Z, digits from 0 to 9, and special symbols like asterisk sign, hash sign, opening braces, parentheses, plus, minus, division, etc. So these are the character sets available in C programming language. Now the token. Token is the smallest individual unit of any C programming portion, and there may be like keywords, identifiers, constants, string, operator, etc. Now from one of the token is identifier. Now what is identifier? Identifier refers to the name of a variable or functions or array which is written within a program by a programmer. The identifiers are the building block of any kind of programming language, and the rules for naming these identifiers may vary from one program to another program. So every individual programming languages has their own rules or conventions to naming these identifiers, and it may differ from one language to another language. Now another token is constant. Constant means in any programming language, if we use some value which cannot be altered or cannot be changed during the execution of the program. So constant means we are just fixing some value which is not be changeable during the execution of a program. In C programming language, constants are two types, and they are primary constant and secondary constants. Primary constants are again categorized in different types, and they are integer constants, real or floating point constant, character constant, and secondary constants like array, pointer, structure, union, etc. The basic rules for declaring the constant within the C programs are like every constant may contain positive or negative values. If any sign is not preceded within the constant, then it assumes that it preceded with positive sign. Constant at least consists of one digit. The integral constant must not have any decimal places or fractional part whether the floating point or real type constant must contain the decimal places or fractional portion. No blank or spaces are allowed within the constants, and a character is a type of single alphabet or single digit or a single symbol encoded within a single inverted comma, and a character constant is can only contains only one character. If we like to assign some value during the execution of the program and the value may be changeable, then we need some another type of things, and which is known as variable. Variable is nothing but the memory place or memory area or memory block of the computer memory, where we can put or store some value for further use. So variable nothing but the memory block, which is basically we assigned or occupied from the computer memory to store some value or data. Now to identify the variable, we have to put some or give some name to the variable. A variable name may contain maximum up to 31 characters. To giving the give a name to the variable, we must to maintain some protocols or follow some rules and regulations to give a name to a particular variable. And the basic rules or protocols to naming the variable within the C programs, and they are like: every variable may contain alphabet or digit. Next one is the variable name never start with any digit or special character. It means if A2, it is a perfect naming of a variable, but if we write 2A, that means it start with the digit, not the alphabet, so it becomes wrong. So every variable name must start with an alphabet. Variable name never contains any special character except the underscore. So A underscore B or A underscore 2 is a correct variable name, but A@2 or A has B, like such a thing, is not the correct variable name. We cannot use a digit in between the character of a variable name. Means suppose AB2 is a correct variable name, but if I just put 2 in between the A and B, so it becomes A2B. So A2B is not a correct variable name. It is completely incorrect. So AB2 is the correct variable name. Variable never be same as the name of a keyword. It means we cannot use keyword as a variable name. Variable name must be declared so that it can depict the logic of the program. It means suppose if I am going to store the value or calculated value of an area of rectangle, so I'm just assign a variable and I put the name C. And now C becomes the variable which can store the area of the rectangle. But from the name of C, we cannot assume that C actually what kind of thing actually hold. But if I replace the names, replace the variable name C with area, then we can easily depict that, or we can assume that yes, this variable is holding some calculated value of area of some rectangle, maybe another thing, but we can assume that we can identify that this variable is basically used to store some value or data which actually generated after calculation, and this value is related to area of something. So these are the basic rules or protocols to declaring the variable. The basic difference between the variable and constants are the value of constant is never be changed during the execution of the program, but in case of variable we can change the value which is stored in the variable during the execution of the program. That means the value of a variable of a particular variable may vary during the execution of the program. Suppose if a constant value of a is 10, so during the execution of the program, the value is never going to change. We cannot assign a as 20. But if I declare this a as a variable, then we can easily assign this value during the execution as 10, and as well as we can again change the value and we can assign 20 to the same variable a. So this is the basic difference between the variable and constant. Now during the naming conventions, I mentioned that variable name never be same as the name of a keyword. Now what is keyword? Keywords are the reserved word which basically stored in the C compiler and which meaning or action or definition is already defined. It means if we are going to use any kind of keyword during within the program during the execution, it executes the particular task or action which is specified to this word which is already defined in the C compiler. So it need not to be write any extra code for this word. It executes a particular job. So these are the basically keywords. In C compiler, there are 32 keywords are available, which you can see in the in this table, and they are such like for, int, double, while, switch, case, type def, struct, union, etc. So this type of keywords we cannot or never be used as a name of a variable. When we are going to store some value in a variable or within a constant, we have to store some kind of data or value, and data or value may varies in different type. Means we can store in number like 10, we can store name like Parsala. So type of data is varies. 10 is a number and Parsala is a character. So the type of data which is basically being assigned to a variable or constant is known as data type. In C programming languages, the data types are categorized in three types, and they are user-defined data type, built-in data type, and derived data type. User-defined data type are like structure, union, etc. And derived data type like array, pointer, reference. Built-in data type in C programming language are again categorized in four types, and they are void type. Void type means it never can return a value. Next one is character type. Character type is represented by char, and it can only hold only one single character. In the other two parts, which one is integral type, another one is floating type. In these both the type, we can store numeric values. But numeric values basically are two types. One is whole number, that means non-fractional number. Another one is fractional number with decimal places. So whenever we need to store some whole number or integer values, we use the integral data type. And whenever we need to store some decimal places value or fractional value, we use the floating type data types. These both the data types are categorized in different types. As per the user store the value range maybe varies. That means that number of digit within the number can varies. If we like to store a small number digit number, then we use a smaller data type. And if we like to store a large digit number, then we use the larger data type. Actually, basically, it is differ in the memory area they are actually occupied. If we use the small data type, it can occupy the memory with a smaller portion or smaller bytes. Or if we store larger value, it occupies the more memory space into the computer memory. So these are the basic difference between these data type according to their storing capacity, as they are occupying the lesser to larger amount of memory and the memory size are given in the following table. And you can see there are different types of data types are available, and they are from integral part, the data type part, and they are like short, int, long int, and from floating type data type, and they are float, double, long double. And you can see in this table, which is shown in here, that the type of data in case of long int or long double, the size into the memory, which is actually denoted by bytes, where 1 bytes is equals to 8 bits. So you can see the bytes occupied, how many memory block actually occupied is differ from, suppose from int to long int it is differ, and from float to long double it is differ in memory size. So they are basically storing the numeric values but with different memory size, and as their memory size is differ, so it store different capacities values. In C programming languages, whenever we are going to write any kind of program, we have to maintain or follow some rules, and they are like each instructions must be written in separate line. The each statement must appear in the order in which we are actually you like to execute them. As the C programming language has no rules to specify the position of writing a statement, so it is known as a free-form language. Every statement must be written in a smaller case, and every statement end with a semicolon, where semicolon represent as a terminator. Whenever the C compiler encountered a semicolon, it understand that the line has been ended here or terminate here. So every line is ended with the semicolon. So these are the basic rules we follow whenever we are going to write any kind of C programming or writing any program using the C programming languages. So these are the basic rules we follow whenever we are going to write any kind of programming using the C programming languages. So these are the basic concepts of C programming languages. From the next video, I am going to discuss or write some program using the C programming language. Till then, keep watching the rest of the other videos of this channel. Bye bye and have a good day.